From this video, it is focused to brief the instructions to complete the individual income tax return for the year of assessment 23-24. Every taxpayer must submit the income tax return for the year of assessment 23-24 on or before 30th November 2024, and the mode of submission is e-filing. You may have past experience with the physical income tax return reached to your address, but from this year of assessment, e-filing return is compulsory for every individual taxpayer. Both the resident and non-resident individuals are liable to pay income tax return in Sri Lanka. Resident individuals liable to pay tax on world income. If you are a non-resident, your tax liability is limited to the income from Sri Lanka. Year of assessment is the period of 12 months commencing on the first day of April of any year and ending on the 31st day of March in the immediate succeeding year. The set of documents to be submitted by you for individual income tax return comprise of two parts, return form and the statement of assets and liabilities. The return form consists of return of income and mandatory schedules therein. Let's look into the individual income tax return to be submitted for this year of assessment. The return of income is in 2 pages. You may observe 2 sections. The section 1 is the statement of tax liabilities and the section 2 is the declaration. You have to complete both these sections. Other than that, there are 10 schedules that you have to submit along with the income tax return. In this income tax return, the section 1 has 5 parts, such as Part A, income liable to tax, Part B, deductions from assessable income, Part C, calculation of tax payable, Part D, exempt income or excluded income. Part E is the mandatory schedules. The section 2 also has 2 parts, Part A and Part B. Part A of the section 1 is called as income liable to tax. Under that, you can observe 4 sources of income such as employment income, business income, investment income and other income. Depending on your source of income, you have to fill the relevant cage. Each source of income in Part A addressed refer relevant schedules. You need to complete the relevant schedules also. The employment income is the gains and profits from employment. It includes remuneration both from your primary employment and secondary employment and also the terminal benefits. This is the schedule 1 of the employment income. Your details of the employment income need to be mentioned in there. The next source of income is the business income. It refers schedule 2. A person's income from a business for a year of assessment is the person's gains and profit from conducting the business for the year. Business income from sole proprietorship. Business income from partnership. Beneficiaries' business income from trust have to be mentioned separately. And also, you have to mention both local and foreign sources under each category separately. Let's move on to the investment income. It is the gains and profit conducting the investment for the year. It may include interest income, rent income, gains and realization of investment assets, dividend and any other investment income. For this investment income, you have to refer Schedule 3. This is the Schedule 3 on investment income. Likewise, business income, investment income from both local and foreign sources must have to be declared. Individual investment income, partners' investment income, and beneficiaries' investment income must be filled in each cage separately. Schedule 4 is the other income schedule. Any other income that is not categorized under the main three sources of income comes under the other income. In the income tax return, Part B is called as deductions from assessable income. Deductions may be a relief or qualifying payment. In each schedule, you can find the relief, exempt or excluded amount cage as a separate part. You have to complete them and finally take the amount to the Part B of the income tax return. Relief. You may aware on the personal relief of 1.2 million rupees per year for an individual. If you have a rental income, you are allowed to deduct 25% on rental income as a relief. There is another relief on resident solar panel. The amount is limited to rupees 600,000 for the expenditure paid. In order to obtain the relief for rent income, you have to fill the Part 2 of the third schedule. The other deductions from assessable income is in the Schedule 5. There are 4 parts such as Schedule 5A, Schedule 5B, Schedule 5C and Schedule 5D. You must complete applicable schedule to obtain the relevant deduction in Part B of the return. This is the Schedule 5 of the income tax return. Part C of the income tax return is the calculation of tax payable. For that, you have to use the Schedule 8. In this schedule, you have to fill relevant cage carefully related to your income. Once you compute the taxable income, the next step is the calculation of tax payable. In calculation of income tax, tax rates are applied. The application of income tax rates are in progressive rate. If you have income is less than 500,000, your tax rate is 6%. When the taxable income is in between 500,000 to 1 million rupees, the applicable tax rate is 12%. The next slab is the 18% tax rate. 24% rate applied for the taxable income is in between 1.5 million to 2 million Sri Lankan rupees. Then 30% tax rate is for the range of 2 million to 2.5 million. 36% is the ceiling tax rate for all balanced taxable income. Schedule 9 in your income tax return is the tax credits. Tax credits refer the taxes already paid by you. This tax payment may be individual income tax payment of yours or your share from partnership tax. In this schedule, you have to mention clearly in the relevant cage of your tax credit. In your income tax return, Part D is the exempt or excluded income. You may refer Schedule 1, 2, 3 and 4 in filing this cage. Other schedules such as Schedule 6 withholding tax on final withholding tax payment, Schedule 7 advance income tax or withholding tax, Schedule 10 loss adjustment schedule. Like all schedules, whichever is applicable to you must have to be completed. Other than income tax return and mandatory schedules, you have to complete other sets of documents is statement of assets and liabilities. The due date. I have to remind you on the due date for the income tax return for the year of assessment 23-24 is on or before 30th November 2024, and the return e-filing is mandatory. We, as the Inland Revenue Department, have provided you online submission facility in the IRD web portal. Then let's see how to pay the tax payment. You have to pay your income tax payment on installment basis as quarterly payments. In this table, you can see due dates and the tax payment code relevant for the each taxable period. This is a short explanation on how to complete the individual income tax return. If you need further clarification, you may refer Inland Revenue Department official website www.ird.gov.lk.